This is a video that's designed to walk you through what the task one is for the senior high school capstone. Now, task one is titled as the Media Literacy Review. And what that looks like is we're really looking for you to have a fundamental understanding of how media literacy operates in terms of doing research. So when we take a look as we scroll down on here, um, you'll see that you have a chart that you're going to need to fill out as you're going through and actively doing your research. So as you can see up here at the top, I have Sooth, which is going to be our search engine that we're going to be directing you guys to for this project. I also have an interactive media chart on here as well as the all sides. And you're going to see those are going to all come in here in a second. For my example project here, I'm going to be using the Chicago Cubs as my topic for my capstone. As you can see, I've simply done a search on here on Sooth, and I can go back and show you that again. Chicago Cubs. And you can see Sooth winds up popping you with a whole bunch of different options. Um, let's say that I have gone through, I've decided that this is an article right here that I want to use. It's by the New York Times. And we're going to show you how to enter all of this over here onto the tracker. So when you're here, you can see as I come back in, so this is the first source that I want to use. So the first thing that I'm going to answer is type of source. As I scroll down, I'm going to be able to see right down on here, it's a news article. The date published. The date published on here, it's right here, big and bold. I don't have to go very far. It's going to be January 11th, 2026. And remember, we're really looking for stuff that is newer than 10 years. If there's something that's older than that, it's really just not where we necessarily want to be. Article title. So this is where I'm going to need to come in here. And I can go ahead and I can copy this. And I can plug that right back in. Sometimes you can use a little bit of formatting. There you go. Article publisher and author expertise. That is going to be the New York Times, because it's a New York Times article. However, for this one in particular, I would need to add a little bit more information because it's not just the New York Times. The New York Times sports section is actually owned by The Athletic. The Athletic is a sports platform that partnered with the New York Times a couple years ago and is now their primary driver. So we're going to put The Athletic. And then I'm going to come back in here. I'm going to see who was the article author, Patrick Moody. Now, luckily with these sort of resources, I can be able to click and it'll actually bring me to a bio right here. You can see he's a senior writer covering the Chicago Cubs and Major League Baseball. He definitely would be a pretty credible source. So I'm going to say down here, Patrick Mooney, author expertise, senior MLB writer. So over here is really where there's going to be some questions. Media literacy review tool. So you can go ahead, you can click on this and you can be able to see there's different pieces down here. So wherever you're getting your media literacy review is where you're going to need to click from. Because I'm using Sooth for this search, I can go ahead and I can click sooth.fyi. If I'm finding this article from another source, I will need to go out and I will need to take a look at different options out there. Sooth is a great resource. It's certainly not perfect, but it does allow you to have kind of a lot of things all in one space. So I'm going to go ahead and click on sooth.fyi. When I come back in here to my Sooth article, do you see where this little L is, or that there's a right, or that there's an R over here? This is what this is going to tell you. So this is going to tell me that it leans left. So I can come back in here. And political lean, I would say that's called left of center. You can also see down here, these are going to be what center looks like. Chicago Tribune, that has a center rating, Newsweek, and so on. But you can see on here, the Manhattan Institute has a lean right. It's lean right. Then as we come back over here, credibility score. So this is where, again, you're going to need to go back in. You might need to do a little bit of digging. The good news is I'm using Sooth, so I can be able to see it has a 100 rating on it. So I can be able to plug that right in for the New York Times. And boom, I was able to add my entire article, and I can see that this is a good article for what I'm seeking for this. It lets me know that, well, it might be left to center. That is okay. We're trying to stay more in that center range, left center, center, or right center. And as you can see up here with the credibility score, we really want everything to be an 80 or above. What that does mean is when you come back in here and you see this, the Daily Mail, and that has 69.5 on here, that unfortunately wouldn't be a source that you'd be able to use for this project. Any questions or concerns, you can always come see myself, Ms. Kimmel, or your teacher, and we are more than happy to walk you through any of that.